Sherpa guides climb through the Khumbu Icefall dozens of times each climbing season. Not once. Dozens of times. They're fixing ropes, carrying loads, guiding clients through one of the most dangerous stretches on Earth, where house-sized blocks of ice can collapse without warning. While most Everest climbers pass through the icefall maybe twice, Sherpas do it 20, 30, sometimes 40 times in a single season. This is their job. Their income. Their normal. So what is life actually like for the people who live and work at the foot of the world's highest mountain? Everest Base Camp sits at 5,364 meters on the Khumbu Glacier in northeastern Nepal. During climbing season, April through May, it becomes a temporary city of around 1,500 people. Expedition tents, medical stations, communication hubs. When the season ends, everyone leaves. The ice reclaims the space. But base camp isn't a town. The actual communities where Sherpas live are lower down the valley, villages like Namche Bazaar at 3,440 meters, Kumjung, Kunda, Thame. These are permanent settlements with stone houses, schools, monasteries, and around 6,000 ethnic Sherpa people who've inhabited this region for centuries. The Sherpa people originally migrated from Tibet around 500 years ago, settling in the Solokhumbu region. Their name literally means, people from the east. For most of their history, they were traders, farmers, yak herders, crossing high passes between Tibet and Nepal with goods. Then in the 1950s, mountaineering arrived. The first Everest summit in 1953 featured Tenzing Norgay, a Sherpa who became an international icon. Since then, the economy of the Khumbu Valley has transformed. Today, mountaineering and trekking tourism generate around $60 million annually for the region. About 30,000 trekkers hike to Everest Base Camp each year, not to climb, just to reach the base. Another 800 to 1,000 attempt the summit. And almost all of them hire Sherpa guides, porters, cooks, and support staff. This is an exotic adventure for the Sherpas. It's the backbone of the regional economy. A high-altitude climbing Sherpa can earn $5,000 to $8,000 in a 2-month season, around 10 times Nepal's average annual income. But that number conceals the reality. Many Sherpas work multiple roles. They'll guide trekkers in autumn, work on Everest in spring, maybe guide on another peak in between. It's not a single salary. It's pieced together. Most Sherpas live in traditional stone houses with wooden interiors, built to withstand the cold and wind. A typical family home in Namche Bazaar might have 3 or 4 rooms, a kitchen with a wood-burning stove, a prayer room, sleeping quarters. Wealthier families who own lodges or expedition companies live in larger homes, sometimes with solar panels and satellite internet. But even the nicest houses face the same reality: everything is harder at altitude. Water must be carried or piped from streams. Fuel is expensive. In winter, temperatures drop to -20 Celsius. Homes are insulated with mud and yak dung mixed into the walls. Heating is limited to 1 or 2 rooms. You sleep under heavy woolen blankets. Most families keep a small altar with butter lamps, photos of the Dalai Lama, and offerings. Buddhism shapes daily life here. Prayer flags hang everywhere. Every morning, many Sherpas light incense and recite prayers before leaving for work. Food is built around staples that survive at altitude. Potatoes grow well in the Khumbu, boiled, fried, mashed. Dal bhat, the lentil and rice dish eaten across Nepal, is standard. Sampa, roasted barley flour, is a Sherpa staple inherited from Tibet. Families also eat momos, dumplings filled with vegetables or yak meat, and thukpa, a noodle soup. Fresh produce is rare and expensive. A tomato at base camp costs $5. Everything has to be carried up on foot or flown in by helicopter. There's no road to Namche Bazaar. The nearest road ends at Yiri, a 3-day walk away. Some supplies come by small plane to Lukla Airport, one of the most dangerous in the world, a sloped runway carved into a mountainside. But most goods are carried by porters. A porter might carry 40 kilograms up a trail for $15 to $20 a day. You see them constantly, bent forward under wicker baskets, moving slowly uphill. Inside the Khumbu, there are no cars. No motorbikes. Travel is on foot, by yak, or by helicopter if you can afford it. A family going from Namche to Kathmandu faces a 5-day walk to Lukla, then a flight, if weather permits. Flights get cancelled constantly. Fog, wind, clouds. You wait. For Sherpas working on Everest, movement during the season means living at base camp for weeks at a time, making repeated climbs up to Camp 1, Camp 2, sometimes Camp 3 or 4, depending on their role. Then back down to base camp. Then up again. The body never fully acclimatizes. You're always managing the edge of altitude sickness. The work is specialized and dangerous. A climbing Sherpa's job during Everest season breaks into phases. Pre-season, they perform a puja ceremony at base camp. Buddhist lamas bless the mountain, the ropes, the climbers. Then the Icefall doctors, a team of experienced Sherpas, spend weeks installing the route through the Khumbu Icefall, aluminum ladders across crevasses, fixed ropes anchored into ice. It's incredibly dangerous work. The icefall shifts constantly. In 2014, an avalanche killed 16 Sherpas in the icefall in a single day, the deadliest incident in Everest history. After the route is set, climbing Sherpas begin load carries. They move tents, oxygen bottles, food, fuel from base camp up to the higher camps. A strong Sherpa might carry 25 to 30 kilograms at 7,000 meters. Westerners struggle to move their own bodies at that altitude. Then comes client guiding, shadowing paying climbers, managing their pace, sometimes short-roping them on difficult sections. On summit day, Sherpas often climb without supplemental oxygen in the early stages to save bottles for clients. They're also the fixers. If something breaks, they fix it. If someone gets sick, they help evacuate. Despite the income, most Sherpa families want their children to pursue education instead of climbing. Namche Bazaar has a high school now. Kumjung has the Edmund Hillary School, built in the 1960s. Kids study Nepali, English, math, science. The brightest students go to Kathmandu for university. Many return to work in the trekking industry, but as lodge owners, expedition managers, helicopter coordinators, not as high-altitude porters. Healthcare in the Khumbu is limited. Namche has a small clinic. Kunda has the Kunda Hospital, also built with Hillary's support. But serious injuries or illness mean evacuation. A helicopter rescue from base camp to Kathmandu costs $5,000 to $10,000. Most Sherpas don't have insurance that covers it. Some expedition companies provide insurance, many don't. If a Sherpa is killed on the mountain, the family might receive compensation, maybe $15,000 from the Nepali government, more if the expedition company is reputable. But it's inconsistent. Sherpa families are tight-knit, and the community is small enough that everyone knows everyone. Marriages are often arranged within the Sherpa community, though that's changing as younger generations meet people in Kathmandu or abroad. Traditionally, Sherpa society practiced polyandry, one woman marrying multiple brothers to keep land inheritance intact. That's mostly gone now, but extended families still live close together. When a Sherpa is on Everest, his wife, parents, and children stay in the village. They wait. They light butter lamps. They spin prayer wheels. Many families have lost someone to the mountains. The grief is quiet and collective. In Namche Bazaar, there's a memorial with plaques for Sherpas who died on various peaks. You walk past it on the main trail. Community life revolves around the monastery. Monks lead ceremonies, festival days bring everyone together. Dumji, a Sherpa festival, involves dancing, drinking chang, a millet beer, and hours of communal eating. Losar, the Tibetan New Year, is another major event. During these times, the mountains feel secondary. The focus is family, tradition, connection. But the reality is that many Sherpa men are absent for months each year. April and May for Everest. October and November for trekking season. Some go to other peaks, K2, Manaslu, Cho Oyu. It's good money, but it fractures family time. Women run the lodges, raise the children, manage the households. There's a quiet imbalance. Sherpa women are starting to become guides too. Lokpa Sherpa has summited Everest 10 times, more than any other woman. But it's still overwhelmingly male work. What holds it all together is identity. Being Sherpa isn't just ethnicity, it's pride. They're the best high-altitude climbers in the world, and they know it. When a Sherpa summits Everest, the whole village celebrates. The biggest misconception about Sherpas is that Sherpa means guide or porter. It doesn't. It's an ethnic group. Calling someone my Sherpa is like calling someone my Nepali. But the term has been so conflated with the job that many people don't realize Sherpa is a people, not a profession. Another misconception, that Sherpas are superhuman. They're not. They're born at altitude, so their bodies produce more hemoglobin, and they have genetic adaptations that help with oxygen efficiency. But they still get altitude sickness. They still suffer from frostbite, exhaustion, pulmonary edema. They're just better at functioning in thin air than most humans. And they've spent their entire lives learning how to move in these mountains. The economic reality is more complicated than it looks. Yes, a climbing Sherpa can make $6,000 in 2 months. But that income supports an entire extended family. It might pay for a sibling's school fees, a parent's medical treatment, a new roof. And it's not guaranteed. If a client cancels, if weather cuts the season short, if you're injured early, the money disappears. There's no safety net. The risks are also chronically underreported. Between 1953 and 2023, more than 120 Sherpas have died on Everest, about 1/3 of all Everest deaths, despite Sherpas being a small fraction of total climbers. The mortality rate for Sherpas is roughly 10 times higher than for Western climbers. But their deaths rarely make international headlines unless the number is large. One surprising advantage, Sherpas have leverage now. After the 2014 Icefall disaster, Sherpa teams organized and demanded better pay, insurance, and death benefits. The Nepali government increased the compensation fund. Expedition companies began offering better terms. It's still not enough, but the power dynamic has shifted slightly. Sherpas are no longer invisible labor. Another unexpected reality, many Sherpas are wealthy by Nepali standards. Successful expedition leaders own lodges, helicopters, trekking companies. Kami Rita Sherpa, who has summited Everest 29 times, the world record, lives comfortably. But wealth doesn't erase risk. He still climbs. Because it's still the best way to make money in the Khumbu. Every spring, as the jet stream lifts off Everest's summit and the weather window opens, Sherpas leave their villages and walk up to base camp. They say goodbye to their families, not knowing if they'll return. They carry photos of their children in their pockets. They tie prayer flags to their packs. They perform the puja ceremony, throwing rice into the air and asking the mountain for safe passage. And then they go to work. They cross the icefall in the dark, headlamps bobbing. They clip into fixed ropes at 8,000 meters, their fingers numb inside thin gloves. They haul loads, fix anchors, short rope clients who are barely conscious from exhaustion and altitude. They smile for summit photos, then descend in a single push, 3,000 vertical meters in one day, to make room for the next wave. They do this because it pays for their children's education. Because it built their family's lodge. Because their father did it, and his father before him. Because they're good at it. Because the mountain is there, and it will always need someone to climb it first. The world sees Everest as the ultimate adventure, a bucket list dream, a test of human endurance. For Sherpas, it's Tuesday. It's rent. It's a job where one mistake, one unexpected serac collapse, one moment of bad luck, means you don't come home. And still, they go. Not because they're fearless. Not because they're superhuman. But because this is life at the foot of the world's highest mountain. And someone has to keep it running. So they climb through the icefall again. And again. And again.